So guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. So guys, there's some breaking news. Floyd Mayweather recently said that his exhibition with Logan Paul will go ahead. I don't know what you guys make of Floyd Mayweather and his exhibition with Logan Paul. I said this a couple weeks back, or probably a month or two ago, that I don't have a problem with Floyd Mayweather fighting these exhibition fights. Um, and I think the fact that Floyd Mayweather wants to have these exhibition fights is a way of him making money. It's like a side income. It's like a business to him. But Floyd Mayweather's got a lot of business. He's a very smart businessman. And this is just another side income to him, fighting these MMA or YouTubers and MMA fighters with big names. It's a kind of a side business, side income for him, where he's making a shed load of money fighting guys that can't really beat him. And when people say he's ruining his legacy, I find it funny and strange, because how can you say a guy is ruining his legacy who's already 50 and 0, who's fought the best in his era, beat the best in his era? I don't see it. I just feel like he's had his day in the sun. Now this is just show business. This is just entertainment. This isn't real fighting. This isn't something that the hardcore fans are going to be that interested in, because Floyd Mayweather now is just fighting for money, and he's fighting just to stay relevant. So to be honest with you, I don't know why people get so upset and why people expect him to come back and fight the best. He's retired. He doesn't need to fight Manny Pacquiao, or need to fight Errol Spence or Terence Crawford. What for? He's had his day in the sun. He's had his time when he was at the top in boxing and he fought the best. His time's now done. He's finished now. Now it's just about making use of the name that he's got, and using his name to generate revenue, fighting other big guys, big names in different fields. Because let's be honest, Logan Paul's not a boxer. He's a guy from a different field. He's a guy from a different world. He's a YouTube star. And they're basically using both their names to generate huge interest. And a lot of the people that will buy that fight are going to be people that are not even into boxing. It's going to be a lot of Logan Paul fans. Listen, a lot of the boxing world will tune in just because of the intrigue, just to see Mayweather fight Logan Paul. So people will tune in, even boxing fans will tune in just for the intrigue of it. But they're not going to be tuning in, viewing it as a competitive event. It's not going to be competitive because Mayweather will beat Logan Paul. You could blindfold him and he'll probably beat him. But it's a way of if Mayweather making dough. It's a way of Logan Paul making dough. They're both huge names and huge stars. Like Logan Paul's got nearly 20, like on Instagram's got 20 million followers. This guy isn't a small dude. This is a guy that's worth millions and millions. He's worth more than majority of boxers. He's probably net worth will probably be more than probably all of boxers, apart from like the top like Mayweather and guys like that. He probably is worth more than all of Anthony Joshua, probably worth more than Tyson Fury and all of those guys. So I don't blame Mayweather doing what he's doing, because like I said, he's had his day in the sun. He's made a shed load of money. What is there? What else is there for him to prove? What does Mayweather have to prove? He's got nothing to prove anymore. He's proven everything. I don't know why people are so bitter towards Mayweather. Just let the guy's done it. He's 50 and 0. He's done what he needed to do. Let him have these exhibition fights now. Let him make use of the name that he's legitimately made in boxing by fighting top level competition, beating everybody in his era. There's nothing wrong with him fighting these YouTubers and big stars and guys from other back fields, because at the end of the day, he's for me earned the right to do that. See, I'm more against like guys coming from another sport, like two YouTubers. People say, well, it's all right for two YouTubers to fight each other because they're two novices and they're two guys at similar levels. I don't know, because now you're getting two guys that are big names to fight in a sport and make money out of sport where they're really not fighters. So I'd rather see another boxer. But the thing is, then I understand people's people's view on it where it gets dangerous. It can do, yeah. Mayweather in there with Logan Paul, it can be dangerous because you're talking about a very, very skilled boxer against a novice, against a guy that's not a boxer, against a guy that, like they say, wouldn't even win the, ABAs here, or they wouldn't even wouldn't stand a chance, in an amateur tournament, let alone winning against in a professional fight against a top fighter. So it's all a show business, but you've got to be careful that, someone doesn't get hurt, because imagine if something like this happens, right? And someone ends up getting hurt. Someone ends up getting really badly hurt. What kind of look would it have on boxing? Boxing is already seen as quite barbaric, right? Boxing is already seen as barbaric to a lot of people, a lot of people high up. A lot of people don't like boxing. They think it's barbaric. They think it's dangerous. A lot of people think boxing should be banned. Real talk. And something like this wouldn't help the sport. If someone was to get seriously injured by having one of these exhibition fights, it'll definitely raise a dark cloud above the sport, which is something you've got to be careful of. Something that these people that put on these type of fights have got to be careful of, because it only takes one fight and something to go wrong, someone to get injured, something to, and that's all of a sudden everybody's on the case. So I remember two boxers fighting one another, and when was it? Who was it? Blackwell and Eubank were fighting, and Blackwell got seriously injured. And they were saying, "Oh, this sport's barbaric, it should be banned." This is what I'm saying, and that's two boxers fighting. Imagine if someone got injured that wasn't a boxer. Firstly, that would put an end to all this exhibition nonsense. Boxing would become a lot tighter. But even boxing itself would, there'll be questions raised. Like I said, it's a very dangerous sport. By putting novices in there with guys, actual fighters, it's very dangerous. Very dangerous. So I can see why a lot of people would have concern with it, because if something was to happen, right? Hopefully it doesn't, but if something was to happen, it brings up a dark cloud above the sport, which is not good. But having said that, I haven't got a problem with Mayweather, fighting Logan Paul. I know a lot of people are going to have a lot of resentment to it. A lot of Pacquiao fans are going to hate it. And it's kind of funny that, a lot of Pacquiao fans say that how come Mayweather's retired now and he's coming back and fighting Logan Paul, but yet all these guys want Manny Pacquiao to fight top competition and want to fight the best guys still at 42, but it's okay for Mayweather to retire and fight Logan Paul. But when Pacquiao wants to fight Conor McGregor, it's not all right. I think a lot of people now don't care who Pacquiao fights. I think it was the fact that Pacquiao was a world champion and he had a belt. So people thought that because he was a belt holder, he should be fighting the other top competition. But now that Pacquiao is no longer a belt holder, he's no longer a world champion, Pacquiao can fight who he wants, because at the end of the day, he's no longer world champ. Ugas is. So Pacquiao can fight whoever he wants to fight. He doesn't have to fight who, the sanctioning bodies, or he doesn't have to fight a guy that they want him to fight. He can fight whoever he wants, because he's no longer holding up anything. A lot of people saying he was holding up the division. He's not anymore. He can fight who he wants. So I don't understand where you get these fans saying that Manny Pacquiao's ducking what's it called, Crawford or Spence, because he's no longer a belt holder. He doesn't need to fight anyone. He can fight whoever he wants. Floyd Mayweather's similar age to Pacquiao. Floyd Mayweather retired ages ago. When was he retired? 2015? That's almost 6 years ago. When he was, 38, 39? So let's get that into context. Manny Pacquiao still 42 and still looking for legitimate contenders. Now, even if he was to fight Ryan Garcia, Mikey Garcia, or even Crawford, would be an exceptional fight for him to take right now. But he's 42 years of age. Floyd Mayweather at 42 wasn't fighting that kind of competition. His last fight was against Andre Berto, which was 6 years ago. And that's fairly poor. Like, Manny Pacquiao's last fight was against Keith Thurman. Floyd Mayweather's last fight was against Andre Berto. You know, his fight before that was Manny Pacquiao himself. But let's not take away from Pacquiao and take away from what he's doing right now, because it's incredible. You don't get guys at that kind of age competing at that higher level. You very rarely see it. But so Floyd Mayweather doing what he's doing, you can't blame him. The man's gonna make a fortune fighting Logan Paul. They're both gonna make a shed load of money. It's an easy fight for Mayweather. It's like a side income, a side business for him. So I don't blame Mayweather doing what he's doing. I think Mayweather's doing right. I think he's using his name and using it in the right way, using his name to generate more revenue for himself. Fair enough. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, if you know that you can make money, why not? Like when people say he's ruining his legacy and stuff, it's just nonsense. Why would he be ruining his legacy when he's already beat all the best in his era? You know, he's already secured that. Now, if he wants to have some legacy fights after, wants to have some exhibition fights after, you know, his career, what's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But I just think, you know, when you have the haters, like Floyd Mayweather has so many haters, you're always going to find a way to kind of discredit him and say, oh, well, you know, he's fighting these exhibition fights. What's he doing? You know, but at the end of the day, like I said, he's already fought everybody in his era. So it's not like he's not really done a lot in the sport and he never fought the best. And now he's having these exhibition fights, rubbing it in. No, he's earned the right to do what he's doing now. So I have no problem with Floyd Mayweather fighting Logan Paul. I'll watch it. You know, even if people don't, I'll watch it. I'll be intrigued. A lot of people would. It'll be great. It'll be great to see Mayweather beat Logan Paul. I hope Logan Paul doesn't get hurt, but, you know, it'll be great to see, you know, Mayweather in a ring, in kind of like you know, it'll be kind of entertainment. You know, we know who's going to win, but it'll be entertainment. So I haven't got a problem with it. What do you guys think? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. Are you against Mayweather fighting Logan Paul? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? Leave your thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And guys, remember to please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.